My coming out story. Well, let's first start off that I always knew I was different. I always knew I had an attraction to boys, and it really tainted my childhood. It really made me easily offended. It made me really hypersensitive, um, a loner. Didn't really have a lot of real friends in school. Yeah, I always clicked with girls on the playground, and in the hallways or whatever, but like a true friend, far and few between. To get to the point, I was 11 when I came out to my mother. And it all started with that Ellen DeGeneres book that my mom had gotten me for Christmas. And it was her coming out story, I think. It's many years ago. But long story short, I told my mom that I liked boys and that I felt that I was gay. And my mom literally grabbed my chin and she said, "Honey, we already know." I was so embarrassed, so baffled, because I was so scared to tell them, tell her. And of course, she told my dad not long after, which was fine. But I don't really think I ever could have had the balls to come out to my dad like the way I did with my mother. My mom was the one who had to break the news. But my story goes a little different because I have always felt extremely feminine inside. I've always wanted to be a girl. I loved girl things, scrunchies around the wrists that the girls would have like in middle school. I so wanted to wear one too. Girl pants, t-shirts, girl colors, like that's it's not that I wanted to be that way, that's really how I was. Two totally different things there in my opinion. So needless to say, I not only came out gay at first, but like a month later, I started wearing girls' clothes, and my parents were like, "Whoa, what's going on here?" It's one thing being gay, but makeup and girls' clothing was a whole nother spectrum for them to deal with. So I did go to therapy. I saw a sex therapist, and I did end up getting, well, what I call being diagnosed with gender dysphoria. And I lived as a woman for 10 years, from 15 years of age all the way to being 25. Today I am 28. I did the hormone therapy. I got the legal name change. My driver's license was female. I worked and lived and breathed as a woman. And the first 4 or 5 years was great. I loved it. But then I started to become really alone, um, having a really hard time with social situations because when I would go out to the club, a gay bar, even at that, I still couldn't find any camaraderie. I was always alone and aspiring and desperate and wanting friends and wanting people to understand how real that my situation was inside. That led me down some pretty hard, scary, not so healthy paths that I've now overcome, but retrospect, I've wasted some years through some choices that I've made. Thank God I'm only 28, not 38 or 48. um, I do still feel feminine and like a woman inside. I'll be transgendered forever, but I can live with the fact that I'm not a woman. And actually, being a gay male is so much easier, and I am happier this way. Because there's not one hormone that's really going to make me a woman. There is not any surgery that's really going to make me a woman. And I love to be real. You know, that was another conflict that I had with the gender dysphoria was that it's not natural. It's not real. You know, it's a big facade. For that's how I felt. So it was this really big battle all the time. And not to mention, and I was really fucking passable because I came out so young and I started hormone therapy so young. I mean, I know you see this right here, and it's, yeah, obviously a gay twink, but I was so freaking passable and so pretty, and I really relish in that today. But I have a boyfriend. We've been together almost 3 years. He knows my whole story. He grew up in my hometown. And I never ever could have had this type of love that I have being Lauren. That was my name, Lauren. My name today is Ryan. Hello. Nice to meet you. So that's, I know it's part of my coming out story and I kind of got off track, but not really. It all encompasses who I am. And I so hear you on that. You come out all the time. Like, you're either coming out to your friends, coworkers, or other family members who are distant family members, and you don't really hear them too much, or you know, not even really any cards in the mail. And then you'll come to some family function and be like, "Oh yeah," and they'll be like, "What? What's going on?" So, but I was blessed with the parents that I did have and the brothers that I did have. I'm the youngest of three older brothers, and when it was all put out on the table, being a girl and being gay, however the whole situation was, my brothers and my mom and dad, they stuck it out and they said, "Well, we love you. We may not understand it, we may not get it." And at that moment in time, I hated when they said that. Don't say you don't understand or whatever. I mean, like, what's that? But now that I'm a mature adult, I do understand, how they could not understand that. But at the time, I remember it hurting me really bad. It's like, okay, so you say you love me, but you just don't get it. That's some consolence. I feel consoled and loved. Thanks. But today I am happy, and I am happy with my choices. And I'm not saying that, transsexuality, transgenderism, transvestites, or, whatever, that's not a road that would make people unhappy. It does suit people, many people just fine. I've met many post-operative transsexuals who are happy. I've met many pre-ops that are happy just like that and never want to get the surgery. But for me, it really kind of took me off path, and I'm blessed and I'm very thankful that I overcame that mental obstacle. And I'm honestly happy to say today I am so happy to be a gay, thin twink. Mwah.